Hey, what's going on? This is Jerry Fetta, owner, founder, and CEO of WealthDynamX, and I want to answer the most asked question about money on the internet right now, which is the question of how do I save more money? Right? So in order to when I look at how do I improve something or how do I increase something, I look at why would I be doing it in the first place? Right? So if I wanted to lose weight, I would be looking at what's my purpose for losing weight. Or if I wanted to make more money in my business, I'd be looking at what's my purpose for doing that. So one of the main reasons people don't save more money is they don't actually have a reason to. There's no purpose behind it, right? Like, why would we be saving? And so this goes back to, these things we hear like save for an emergency or save for a rainy day. Those are actually poor reasons to save, right? So if I really want to save, I want to understand first, what am I saving for and what's my goal, right? So that's point number one. If I want to increase my savings and save more money, I need to have a goal for it. I need to have something I'm going for. And it needs to be something that's exciting and something that's going to pay off for me, right? So for me, the primary reason behind saving money is so I have money to invest in income producing assets, right? So when I think about this, why would I want to invest in income producing assets? Well, those pass off passive income, right? That's going to help me buy my time back so that I no longer have to trade time for money. And that's going to give me financial independence. And that's worth me saving for because that's an exciting goal for me, right? So I want to have that goal. Now, the second question then becomes, okay, well, where do I put it? Okay, I would be like, okay, let's say the gym example. I want to lose weight. Maybe I'm trying to get ready for a wedding, or I'm trying to, look good for a family reunion, or I'm competing in something where I want to be in shape, right? Good. So I have a reason. Now I need to have a method. How am I going to do it? Right? So where am I going to go? That's the first place, the location. I would need to have like a gym. I would need to have somewhere where I get my food and my supplements and all this stuff. Same thing with money, right? So if I don't know where am I going to save money, right? I've got the reason, that's awesome. I've got my goal, that's awesome. If I don't have, okay, well, now that I've put it aside, where is it going to go to? That's going to be very difficult for me to accomplish that goal. So I need to understand, where do I keep the money? Now, we've all heard the old adage, it's not just what you make, it's what you keep. Well, it's also not just what you keep, it's where you keep it, right? So where am I keeping my money? And I want to keep it somewhere that accomplishes my goals. Most people, they don't save, and when they do, they keep their money in one of three places. Okay, and these are mistakes. These are three places you should never give money to. The first one is the IRS, right? Now you're like, Jerry, I don't save money with the IRS. What are you talking about? Well, if you get a tax refund, you most definitely do. Okay, a tax refund means that you paid money into them every single month, just like a savings account. It was forced, it was automated, it came right out of your paycheck. But here's the problem. They're paying you zero interest. They're keeping the money all year long, and then they're giving it back to you at the end of the year and calling it a refund, and you're supposed to get excited, right? And a lot of Americans, this is actually how they save. They get a few $1,000s back. If it wasn't for that, they'd have nothing, right? But that's actually a terrible way to save money, right? I'm not getting any growth. I don't have any access or control with the money, and so it really doesn't accomplish my goal. The second place people save that they shouldn't is in the bank. Right, so when I put money in a bank, there's a couple of things that happen. First is they actually loan my money out to other people. At least with the IRS, they're keeping it. Like, at least I know it's there with the U.S. Treasury. They're going to give it to me as a surplus refund at the end of the year. With the bank, they're loaning it out to other people on credit cards, car loans, mortgages. They're trading it in foreign currency markets, in stock markets, and they're making double and triple digit returns, and they're paying me like 0.01% interest. Right? So not only are they taking my money and using it to build wealth for them, right? You got to have a goal. I don't have a goal for my money, then someone else is going to use my money for their goal. People who save money in a bank don't have the right goals with their finances, right? Because they're bored. They don't know what they're going to do with the money. So they just put it there for a rainy day or for an emergency, and they let the bank use it to build wealth and passive income and invest instead of doing all those things themselves. And here's proof. Did you know right now there are over 3,000 banks in America? 3,000 banks in America. This includes Wells Fargo. This includes JP Morgan. This includes PIMCO. This includes probably who you bank with. That collectively, these 3,000 banks in America have over $200 billion in cash values of high early cash value dividend paying whole life insurance. We call this the sacred account. Right? What does that mean? It means that if I'm putting my money in a bank, the first thing a bank needs is a deposit. So I'm putting my money in a bank as a deposit. They're taking that, they're investing it, they're loaning it out, they're making a bunch of profit. And then they're taking the very first portions of that profit, their reserves, and they're putting that into a life insurance policy. Right? What else are they doing? They're the mortgage on real estate. Right? Anyone that has a mortgage, they're going to be with the bank. Okay, they're investing. So why don't I just cut the bank out and do those things myself? The third place that people save that they shouldn't is with Wall Street, right? Wall Street has a tremendously bad track record of doing the wrong thing for consumers, taking advantage of people, right? Losing money. It's not even a great rate of return. When you look at the average Wall Street mutual fund investor on the retail side over the last 20, 30 years, you're going to make maybe a 3 to 5% return best. After fees, after volatility, that's not including taxes and inflation, which you will still pay at some point, right? So I'm looking at, okay, well, I could put it there, but then again, with Wall Street, I'm putting it in my 401k or my IRA. Why is this a bad place? Because number one, it's not with a good group. It's not with a group that has a trustworthy track record, that does the right thing for consumers, right? So the incentive is off, right? If we're partners and they're going to treat me right, great, but Wall Street doesn't do that. The second thing is, I lose access to that money until I turn 59 and a half years old. Okay, I don't want that. I want the money to be available for me to use, right? So banks, Wall Street, the IRS, I should never save with. Okay, and so we're on this point of, okay, we need to have a purpose. We need to have the place we're saving the money. So where should we save instead? When I studied the top of the top of wealth, the one percenters, the institutions, the banks, the large corporations throughout history, they actually use life insurance. Okay, you can Google this, bank-owned life insurance. Go Google this right now, bank-owned life insurance, and you're going to see exactly the statistics I'm telling you about. Bank of America, who I have my business checking account with, they have $22 billion in life insurance cash values in the Sacred account, right? So yeah, I use them month to month in my business. I keep them 1 month worth of personal and business expenses in cash. Everything else goes to my life insurance policy because that's what they're doing. Right? Building wealth isn't hard. We just need to be following the right people. Like, it's not the brother-in-law at the Thanksgiving table. It's not the coworker. It's not the financial advisor that goes to church with us that we should be listening to. It's what are the one percenters actually doing? And this is what they're doing. And this is what they've been doing for almost 200 years. Right? So the track record and the clues are there. We can do the same thing. So life insurance, not any kind of life insurance. It's specifically one type. Okay, I want you to hear me out on this. One type of life insurance. It's called high early cash value, dividend paying whole life insurance. It's not universal life insurance. It's not putting it in the market. It's not, this other stuff out there. It's specifically high early cash value, dividend paying whole life insurance. And it's very hard to find because not everyone does this. Probably less than 1% of policies are designed this way. So if you want to learn how do I start saving that way, check out sacredaccount.com. Okay, there's a bunch of free resources. You can get a free masterclass that's going to teach you how do you find, it's called a mutual life insurance company that treats their policy holders as owners and pays them profit sharing and dividends to grow the money and keeps it safe. And I save my money there. The second place I save money is in gold. Okay, I buy physical gold. I can lease it out for income. I can borrow against it. I can sell it. I can transfer it between silver as well. And so that's another place the wealthy save. And you might be like, why would I save in gold? It's just a rock, right? It's a shiny rock. Great. So there's a group called the Central Bank, the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States. They're a private corporation that loans money to the United States Treasury so that we have dollars in our economy. Meaning there's a private bank that loans and creates all of the dollars in existence to lend it to the Treasury, who will then pay interest to that bank, and that bank makes profit off of all our currency. That group, that central bank, has 80% of their reserves in gold right now. 80% of their reserves in gold right now. That's over $500 billion worth of gold. Okay, if gold is just a shiny rock, why are they doing that? Okay, why does JP Morgan have hundreds of millions of dollars in silver? One of the top silver purchasers and owners in the world. Right, these things I'm saying, you're like, well, that doesn't sound right. Okay, good, but who's using it? Right, not how many people know about it, not how many people know about it, which ones are using it. Right, the number one owner and purchaser of the life insurance that I mentioned is the largest banks in the United States. The number one owner of gold in the world, the United States Central Bank, where you get your dollars. Realize they trade paper to you in exchange for gold back. They buy gold and keep it, and then they tell you use paper and go put it in the banking institutions. The same banking institutions that actually own the central bank. They're shareholders. They get cuts of all the profit and all the interest that the Treasury pays. Right? So I want to change the place in the way that I save money. Life insurance is the way to go. Gold and silver is the way to go. Okay? And then finally, I need to be on a forced automated savings plan that happens no matter what every month. Right? Think about like again, when I pay taxes, when does that come out, and do I actually have to pay them? No, it comes right out of my paycheck before I get paid. It goes right to the IRS. Okay, when I have my 401k plan, same thing. That comes right out of my paycheck and goes right to my 401k before I even get paid. Okay, with the bank, if I have a mortgage, that mortgage payment is automated and forced every single month. Right? So people don't do that to themselves. right? We as individuals, we need to practice the strategies of the top 1%. The way that those institutions get money from you and I is it's forced and automated. And again, they're using it for their own purposes and their own wealth building. So if I use the same formula on myself, the life insurance, the gold and silver, being forced, being automated, and I do that with my own money, I'm going to get a similar result. And I'm going to realize that I start building wealth and saving. Right? So it's kind of like this thing. I'm gonna wrap it like this. If I was saying, okay, so I used to be a personal trainer and a bodybuilder. If someone said to me, Jerry, I want to build muscle and lose weight. Okay, the first thing I'd say is, okay, good. You need to get on a scheduled meal plan and you need to go to the gym every day, and it needs to be something that you don't have to think about. Right? Discipline is the thing that makes or breaks people. And because it's such a touchy topic, I say don't even bother with it. Just automate your life. Okay, forced, automated. You don't have to think about it. So I go to the gym, boom, it's done. I do my diet, boom, it's done. I do my savings, boom, it's done. I don't have the chance to say, should I not? I don't have that opportunity. It just happens. And a lot of people with savings, they have that opportunity, and that's where we allow for distraction. Okay, things that aren't priorities, things that don't help us, and we're like, oh, cool, I'm going to go spend the money on this instead. Right? Versus having it on that automated savings plan. That really is the key, guys. And something we've all experienced. If you're watching, have you ever forgotten you had money in your jeans? You put it through the laundry, and then weeks later you put the jeans on and you find 20 bucks in your pocket? Okay, it's kind of like that with the sacred account, but better. Right? You forget you're doing this and it builds up over time. So when you're doing the life insurance and you're doing the gold, it's not easy to spend. It's not easy for you to go access and pull out and sell into cash. And over time, it just builds. And then you look at it and you're like, shoot, I have thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars there that I didn't realize I had. Okay, now you can take it and you can go invest. So I hope this video has helped you. If it did, be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Go to WealthDynamX.com to get more great content like this. I'll see you next time.